Hello everyone, Attack Power here with Game 1 between Farid Rommel and ElBowser in the Season 10 SDL Steel Division 2 League. Let's dive right in. Alright, so here we are folks on Hadoshage. On the left here in the red, we have Farid Rommel playing 84th Strelki on Vanguard Income. And on the right in the blue, we have ElBowser playing 21st Panzer, also on the Vanguard Income. So very interesting, both players playing Vanguard here. Let's zoom in. Let's check out some units going down here. Sapperty Rocks, Panzer Shrek, and 50 mil up north. We have some Sapperty PPSHs, 45 mil Sniper, another Panzer Shrek, some Sapperty again, 50 mil Mortar, some Gavardi DP, and IS-2 right off the bat, and a KV-8S. The Flame KV. Then we have a whole bunch of Sapperty PPSHs going to the center, some Gavardi DP, a Panzer Shrek, and another 50 mil mortar, and down south very light with Gavardi DP, a Sapperty, and a Sniper. Here on ElBowser's side, we have two Flammenwerfers and a Panzergren in a half-track, SDKFZ. Then going into the center, we have Flammenwerfer, Sturm Pioneer, MG42, some Ersatztruppen, and SDKFZ 71, and a 105 off-map right off the bat. Also into the center, we have some Flammenwerfers, Sturm Pioneers, Ersatz, Panzer 4G, and MG42. And then down south, three Flammenwerfers, Ersatz, a Panzergren in that SDKFZ, and then finally the Panzer 355F, along with a recon plane. If you guys are enjoying this tournament coverage, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe, and consider supporting on Patreon or dropping a super thing. You got a couple extra bucks and you love the channel. Thanks a bunch, and here we go. We have a TU2F out from Farid as well. 84th, a very strong division. Surprised that made it past picks and bans, to be honest with you. 21st, the only person I've seen play it is ElBowser. Now, it's not as bad. It's always like it's got a nice solid set of tools. Can be a little lacking in the infantry department. Seeing those Ersatz again, though. ElBowser, definitely a big fan of those. These PPSHs, Sapperty, are going to get into positions first because of these Jeeps, which are still the fastest unit in the game at this point, other than the Tractions. I'm not 100% sure why the Jeeps got to stay fast and all the motorcycles got slow. Honestly, don't fully understand. Sturm Pioneer does get unloaded in time. It's going to struggle, though, against all these Sapperty. I mean, one-on-one, it'd be fine. MG42 going to go down as well. The Sturm Pioneer, though, doing some damage for sure. Sapperty going really deep here. The problem with these MG42s is once these Sapperty get within 100-meter range, they no longer can shoot at them. So nothing down south. He does capture, ElBowser does capture this flag, but he probably won't hold it against these Sapperty docks, especially with just two Flammenwerfers. His Flammenwerfer's trying to get in, but Gavardi DP going to stop those cold. Sapperty are kind of cut off. SDKZ 250/9 coming in. IS-2 Dushka shooting at that recon plane. I mean, it might force it off at some point. ElBowser currently at a 14-10, capturing the town flag and this flag up here. 50 mil mortar going down already. Off. It was just a blind shot. Although the Flammenwerfer's kind of moving into it, funny enough. Killing off this 50 would have been really nice for Farid, but he unfortunately was not able to. Flammenwerfers are moving forward under the cover of smoke here. Ersatz forced off easily. Gavardi pushing them back. MG42 a little close here. Gavardi will do pretty well against them. Panzer 4, though, moving in. Panzer 4G. This is the more lightly armored one. It has 10 millimeters less armor, but it's also 10 points? 10 points less, and you get better availability on them. So overall, better, I would say. 10 millimeters of armor is not worth that much. Mainly the availability. Now, if the Sapperty are able to kill off this off-map, that would be huge. That would be disgustingly huge. SDKZ 250/9s, though, moving in. They will carve through this infantry quite easily. Panzer 4 is already eating up those infantry. Ersatz coming in. Recon plane overhead still. Sapperty docks chewing through these Flammenwerfers. They won't last long. They'll do a little damage, but it won't be much. And he'll be out of that position probably for the rest of the game. The thing is, 21st does not have that great of CQC units, so those Sapperty docks will stand quite strong. Nothing going on down south. Flammenwerfers do catch out of Gavardia. One of the Flammenwerfers already went down. Unfortunately, with the Gavardi DP helping out. Oh no, the Gavardi do get pinned. And surrendered. Flammenwerfer, though, going to go down. It was moving, so all that damage added up. KV-8S. Dangerous thing here. Infantry finally go down. This flag will go back to ElBowser, but it was 14-10 for Farid, so an interesting swing. Flammenwerfer holding on over here, weirdly enough. I did fail to mention a Focke-Wulf did come in. A little bombing strike on some infantry. This Panzer 4 SDKFZ combo doing really well. Panzer Shrek, though, might ruin this day. SDKFZ pushing around aggressively too close to this Panzer for sure. It's gonna go down here. And there's the lock on, and down goes the 250/9. Boom. So nice ambush there. Erzat's getting hit by the sniper, unloading them. Actually, probably saves them. Panzer IV needs to back up, or he's in a lot of trouble. Erzats do catch out this Panzer Strike, getting its rocket on target anyway. Panzer IV goes down. That's a big loss there. I guess ElBowser didn't notice his SDKs dying to the Panzer Strike in the first place. I'd have to imagine that's why. 250 trying to get in before the Su-76s can get a hold of it. Panzer IV versus KV-8S. Should be at this range. At this range, they'll probably trade, to be honest with you. Unless the Panzer IV can get off its shots faster. It is 2-star, so very well may be able to. SDKFZ 7-1, forcing off that recon pretty darn quick. And KV goes down. Panzer IV landing 2 clean hits. I don't think it got hit itself. Oh, yeah, it did. Maybe, I don't know. I don't think it has enough damage or suppression to be have gotten hit. I think it missed. 105 coming down, landing very specifically in that one section. Seems really tight. I don't know. SDKZ 250/9 trying to back up here. IS-2 hitting those Erzats. Oh, poor Erzats. Whatever shall you do. Focke-Wulf coming in. Will it get its bombs off? It does not. I don't know if it abandoned its strike right away, though. It looked like it kind of like veered off. 37 mil now in. There's no arty here for Bowser yet. So 37 mil perfectly safe. 82 mil mortar coming in. These Su-76s doing some HE damage here. All that's in really infantry are these Erzats. I do not understand their usage. I just think they're so bad, there's like no point to having them. The only thing down here is Gavardia GP. Rommel's gamble down here paying off big time. Bowser not thinking to push down there. It's not a super common place for blue to push because it's basically, it's extremely unlikely you'll capture this flag back here. This one you definitely can. It's not that you can't, but you're just very exposed then. Like you're out there. You know, it's a far way to reinforce. The opponent can kind of, now it is easy to cut it off though. There's a lot of ways to throw down reinforcements and make it hard to get back. It's a lot of effort for one flag. 250/9 hitting that Gavardia in the church tower. Church tower gives so much information. Artillery 81 mm mortar going after that SDKFZ 7-1. It is moving. It's the right move there. He's got to get it out of there. He really can't have this dying. That would be extremely bad for him. I don't think he has that much AA to start, so. The AA he has is good, but there's just not a lot of it. The 105 here just continuing to fall on the reinforcement road. I guess he was just hoping he could cut that off. Su-76s do find the Erzat again. This time killing it off. Sniper continuing to pin the Erzats. Sturm Pioneers, he is making the push here. He is making a poke. Reinforcements coming in will not get in time. They have no way to stop this Sturm Pioneer pile. Martyr 1's in. ElBowser, definitely a fan of these we've seen over the last several games. Clearly, he loves his Panzer Division, specifically in the 20 numbers. Any Panzer Division with a 2 at the beginning of it. I would think 20th is his preference, but 21st being used as well. Apparently, he still spotted out this SDKZ 7-1, making a runner. It fallen back that actually might save him. 37 mil somewhere, look like. I guess just this one down here was doing that. Focke-Wulf did do a bombing strike. Not sure what it hit. Focke-Wulf AA'd in as well. So, Bowser building up an air force here. He's currently still 13-11 to Farid, and Farid's picking up a nice little chunk of points. Tickets, I mean. Panzer 355 does not want to do this fight. It should be running away desperately. I don't think he's noticed. It's going to go down here for sure. Yep, down it goes. Gonna lose this flag. He could have really easily put that 355, and that matches up quite well against these Su-76s. I mean, they trade, but the trading is fine. We saw what Bowser was able to do though against an IS-2 in tight proximity before, so maybe he'll be able to pull it off again. Panzer IV does go down though. It's a big loss to the 45 mil, and that's the issue, especially with the Panzer IV G. That 10 millimeters of armor I mentioned is not like a huge deal, but when it comes to these 45s, it very much is, because the 45 mil naturally penetrates 75 millimeters of armor. So at max range, the Panzer IV, like normal H, the Panzer IV-H, will bounce shots with relative, oh, an armor crack, ouch, will penetrate armor, you know, sometimes, but not always. Against the Panzer IV-G with only the 65, its penetration chance is much higher. 105 goes down, Panzer IV goes down. Ooh, armor is just getting cleaved here. These are some really bad trades for ElBowser. He's got Panzergrens moving in, a Grilla. Marta 1 still waiting to try to hunt this IS-1, 2, excuse me, not 1. Volkov A8 floating around, did do some ground attacks, which were effective. 45 mil goes down. This KV-8S, though, there's not much to stop it. These Panzer 355s, pretty far back. They don't have the gun to kill it anyway. IS-2 aiming up some HE. Whoop. Still 1410, no double tick achieved. Luckily for Bowser, he's on the good side of this map. And yes, there very much is a good side. This blue side, it's so much harder to be pushed completely out of the town because you have all these buildings and your reinforcement road is covered off here. Like you can come down here and still get into town. On the other hand, this side, if you get pushed out of the town, you're done. Like all your reinforcement roads get cut off. You're completely boned. It's very frustrating. You also have this annoying flag that blue can capture really easily. This area is really easy to defend for blue, so it's hard for red to push. It's just it's not a completely unfair map. It's just there's definitely a good side on this map, or a side that is easier to do well on. Let's play it like that. So my viewers who get angry about the map discussion don't get angry about it. It's what happens when you have asymmetrical maps. Ooh, 250/9 doing some nice damage to this SCU-76. Takes it down. All right. I see you. Our 82 mil mortars doing lots of damage. These Martyr 1s need to be careful. They can be killed by that. Very realistically. 250 doing tons of damage, but it's out of AP shells. It's out of, like, autocannon. So it's going to die here. Erzat's just getting torn apart. We're now into B phase. Both players dropping to 125 points. So their time to shine is already gone. But since it's mirror, it's kind of irrelevant, to be honest with you. When you play mirror income, it takes away the advantages and disadvantages of the incomes, because you're all playing the same. So you're never actually at an advantage or a disadvantage. You're just playing. You know, games of like Vanguard probably don't end early because it's equal. They probably go long because you got to wade through your low income later. Martyr 1 goes down though. To Gavardi, a big loss there. He really needs these to keep that IS-2 at arm's length. Yeah, this town fight going so poor. 50 mil mortar doing what it does, pinning some troops, killing off 1 or 2. It's just enough to give the Sapper Docs the overwhelming advantage. Farid building up a nice position though here in town. Strafniki now in. So there's the really strong infantry out of 84th. Things slip even further away here for ElBowser. Pack 43 on the hill. Interesting call in. I mean, it can shoot down this road, but not that far. I mean, it might cut off something at some point. It's a very far off point, though. This 81 mil mortar is just doing the work here. Double Focke-Wulf coming in. Do the Focke-Wulfs have... No, they have bad resilience, so they're not medium resilience. Both get their bombs off, though, but flying directly over the 37 mil, maybe a little too ballsy. Looks like they're fast enough to stay away from the Yak, though. Yaks are bad. I'm gonna say it. I think Yaks are really bad overall. Oh, Focke-Wulf does go down to 37 mil. That is what happens when you fly directly over it. Panzer 355 going down. The other one probably going to go down here as well. Not a great fight. ElBowser using these very aggressively. I understand why. They're cheap. You know, they're 25 points. It's hard not to, but yeah, this is not the right fight for them. All that's left down here is an Erzatz. Oh, good God. And now an off map coming in from both sides. The 203, though, more dangerous than the 172. 172, very dangerous, but 203, very, very dangerous. Yeah, this is looking nasty here. And Farid not letting up on the aggression, which is very much his thing. Student of Kurz. I wouldn't expect him to stop. Double Panzer IV. Plenty to take out any of this other armor, but that IS-2 is still a big issue. And all this stuff is going to get wiped out here by this 203. Tu-2F floating around, spotting out that there's nothing really here, and Farid doing the full attack move forward. Here comes that 203 off map and the 172. Lots of damage being done. Tanks reversing, trying to get out. Bardia goes down. Everything here going down. Ooh. If that 203 dies, though, that'd be huge. Oh, they already got its second strike off, so he wasn't taking any chances. 203-1 goes down to something. Doesn't really matter. It's dead. 172 out in the open here. Better be careful. Losing that would be devastating. IS-2 continues shooting infantry. Now 17-7 for Farid. These trades have gone really badly for ElBowser. I don't like this map. I really, really don't. Alright, Panzer IV able to double team that Su-76. Did take a pen though, so now his KV-8S might be able to just take one out immediately. But it has to switch ammo, and the KV-8S goes down, so nice kill there. The double Panzer IV doing some work. Martyr 1 did go down, though. He doesn't really have a tool to kill this IS-2, and down south, a huge push developing. Yeah, some Panzer 355s are not going to stop that. 16-8 here now. I mean, if you can get this hill on the bottom, it's massive, because it's, you know, two flags very close together. And really, there's very rarely defense here. So once you collapse this part of the line right in this area, you generally capture this one too. So it's really kind of like 3 for 1 if you can get it. It's very obvious though, so you know it's usually pretty heavily defended, but ElBowser again kind of overextending. We've seen this many, many times this tournament. Just kind of pushing really far and hard. And while sometimes that can work out, we've seen it several times this tournament that it can really blow up in your face. Fakala 190 taking a lot of AA fire. Now, it does have medium resilience, so it should be fine. 37 mils, not that potent. They're solid AA pieces. They're very good. They're better than a lot of AA pieces in this game. But they're not really hardcore plane killers until you get them up to like 3 stars. That's kind of the case for a lot of AA. Get it up to 3 stars and all of a sudden it's a whole different ball game. Off-map did lots of damage. The infantry have been really weakened. And a lot of armor has been killed off. We have an ISU-152 coming in. Did the IS-2 die? Looks like it may have. I don't see it. No, I don't. It died to something. Right there it is. I would assume the off-map did it, to be honest with you. Neither of these Panzer IVs should have been able to, unless they got a side shot, then maybe. Disappointed that we missed that. Sorry, folks. Panzer 355 stopping the continuous push. Germ Pioneers coming in. Not great choices for this yellow forest he's now trapped in. Great for this green forest, but he's going to have a problem when he has to actually go try to capture this flag back. 16-8 currently for Farid. And again, remember, with these players on mirror incomes, at no point is there going to be some sort of advantage to pull back in. T-34 takes out the SDK of Z that was pinning stuff down. Panzer 355 going down the KV-8S. These are extremely efficient at 45 points. Really good tanks for 45 points. You get a lot of armor. You get some flamer just because. I mean, I don't see many people ever use the flame on it, but like, it's a lot of tank for 45 points. Off-map finishing up. ElBowser's off-map did die. Not that it mattered. It fired off what it had. Guerrilla doing lots of damage. Panzer IV goes down to the ISU-152. Panzer IV gonna rumble again. Does get a penetration. It should get a second shot off before the ISU-152 does. Will it penetrate is the question. And it does! Big kill there. Just point-wise, that's a nice kill. Losing that Panzer IV, though, is rough. He doesn't have a lot. work with on the map here with them. Panzer serious danger. This SPW 222 just chilling out in the yellow forest. Pack 43 moving forward, trying to catch more stuff out. SPW 222 better be careful. Panzer 4 is going to get caught out here by the T-34. Definitely not great. Grilla trying to supply some suppression here. Panzer 4 already has the gun turn. Oh, that was bad. That was rough. Farid with an overwhelming position down south. Gavardi, though, won't be able to stop these SDKFZs, but they can just hide in the forest. Big whoop. All those Sturm Pioneers are dead. Oh, wow. Not exactly sure what happened. I think some got killed off, maybe. Yeah, I'm not 100% sure. Sorry, a lot going on here. But yeah, ElBowser getting absolutely shellacked here. We can see just these massive troop concentrations of Farids and no troop concentrations for ElBowser. Pack 43 getting killed out in the open. Oh, the SDKZ went down in one of those off maps. IL-2 taking out the Guerrilla now. Oh my goodness gracious. It's going to take out the other one here. Oh no. Oh, ho, ho, ho. That was dirty. 250/9 trying to take out some of these infantry. KV-8S will stop that in its tracks though. IL-2 does go down to the Focke-Wulf 190, but it's pushing against the ocean on this one. Panzergred's flown in. We're now into sea phase, so now there's even less points, but Fair doesn't need him at this point. He's so far ahead on board, it doesn't matter. It's much more painful for ElBowser, who's behind. You know, when you play these more aggressive incomes, even when you're mirrored, the person who's behind going into sea phase or something is in a lot more trouble, you know, behind on board. That's why a lot of times it's almost better to play conservatively and try to just trade better instead of making huge aggressive plays. Like ElBowser went for really big aggressive plays, and I think it punished him a lot. Because again, it's more, when you have mirror incomes, it's about the trades. It's really, yes, you can make some great tactical plays and everything, but you know, there's no like big strategic play to make. You just have to trade better. And unfortunately, in this game, ElBowser did not. Throwing in the towel at 21 minutes and 6 seconds here, and we can see the difference. 2,595 kills for Farid and only 1,685 for ElBowser. So a hard kick there. IS-2 reaping a whole lot of light armor and stuff. Su-76 doing the same. Oh, it actually got that SDKFZ-71. KV-8S doing a ton of it. Yeah, you can't have this many tanks dying to singular units. I think part of the issue, just another one. I think it's always a problem on Harushaji. Axis divisions suffer so badly on that map because Shermans and T-34s dominate that town so badly. That's where they want to be. There is no piece of Axis armor that trades well in that town. Your T-34s are cheaper than your Panzer IVs, so every single time that they trade, you're winning out on points. It's just a bad setup. Stugs do terrible in there because they have to turn all the time to aim. So like you just kind of like bop your tanks in and out behind buildings. The Stug keeps turning for different targets and never actually fires and then dies. We didn't see that here, but that's often what happens. It's not an Axis friendly map at all. I would say if you're playing on Harushaji, find an allied division. There's just not a lot of Axis divisions that really shine on that map. It's painful. It really is quite painful. If you guys enjoyed that, hit that like button, subscribe, and consider supporting on Patreon. Thanks a bunch and have a fantastic day.